So for Brainsword, it's Annie first picked. Then ICM responds with Sejuani Victor. Then BSU takes Zeri and Amumu. So that's their bot lane already locked in. Then the second ban phase came in. Some junglers banned out from for Brainsword, targeting Wiggly. ICM targeting some more Christian Simeone picks, which, yeah, that left them with Fiora. So Fiora was not the first choice, 100%. I feel like Christian definitely could have taken something like Benasis, but Fiora is more than fine. It's just about how comfortable you feel on a champion. And then we're going to see Urgot. No.
Is it Urgot jungle?
No, that's Gragas.
No, it's in replacement for Gragas. Yeah, I remember seeing that in chat. Yeah, that is a Gragas.
That is Gragas. So
Bunker for Fiora. That's one thing I don't see.
Oh yeah, maybe that's one thing.
I think I don't see enough actually. The electrocute on the Gragas as well. But then again, I don't think Predator is a particularly strong rune at the minute.
I feel like Predator is on Gragas. I feel like it's still a viable choice. It's more about just electrocute and first strike, simply having more consistent damage, which I feel like Luke Caruana values more than just the ability to gank a side lane faster.
Stream is at 42 now, right? 3.
Yep.
4.
We're synced up.
Okay.
Going back to that Fiora rune, I feel like in a matchup like this, you could maybe capitalize a little bit more and take the Conqueror instead of the Grasp, but Grasp is fine, especially if you don't 100% have all the things figured out when it comes to the limits of your champion. The short trades should go in your favor if you just hit the vitals.
Fab, actually, one thing. I'm a Victor enthusiast, let's say, and I think, this is a personal opinion. I think he is a fake rune on Victor. I think it's a scam compared to First Strike. If you're against like certain things, maybe like if you really need to have enemy mid laner push out a lane really early in the game, sure. But it's just personal opinion. I'm not a fan of it at all.
I guess this is pretty much exactly what he wants to do here. Like, Annie doesn't have a very good early game, so that's...
Yeah, I trust Fab. I don't trust the rune, but I trust Fab.
Victor definitely has a window in the early game to punish Annie, send her back to lane really early. Does not have TP either. So there is a chance to build a CS lead.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I don't know. I don't see too much opportunities for kill participation for the Annie. Well, I don't know if not just for kills on the Victor for the Annie, but I think he definitely gets a lot of value out of the potential TP there. But gank coming straight into bot lane already. Look, R1 is here. Sokka stops him in his tracks, but the bandage shot is going to land onto Yusuf. He's so low. He's going to just get a tower, but he's going to get hooked by the second bandage, and he's going to fall. And the first kill goes to Hawkbill. Luke Caruana walking away. The ignite is ticking and ticking, but it's not going to be enough. And the first kill of the game for Hawkbill on this area, and that's not good for ICM. Oh, the kill is returned by Wibbly, throwing the flag down. But Hawkbill is able to keep up on top of him. Not going to go in for that second kill. A lot of heavy trading in mid lane as well. Things happening all over the map, but I think you would say that's probably overall beneficial for BSU.
Yeah, it should still be advantage Brainsword. Zeri gets the kill. Luke Caruana once again having that early impact on the lanes. Goes for just 3 camps on his first clear, straight into that gank bot lane. They really like to do this in these games when they have Hawkbill and Nympho Brainiac. Just facilitate the aggressive players Christian Simeone, he's fine on his own in the top lane. He should be winning these matchups just off of his raw ability alone. And this matchup is really rough for Mark as well, as you can see. Already building a CS lead.
Wow, 14 at 4 minutes. Wibbly looking for the flag and drag over the wall into Riftmark. That area is getting him so low with the Scorch procs on pretty much on cooldown as well. He's still waiting for it. He's going to start going ahead with those chickens, but Luke Caruana on the complete other side of the map can't really find a way in to help his Annie. She does have the setup, but one ability and it's gone for a while. He's gonna leave behind and let him continue. But Luke, on the other hand, looking to try and come up behind Feb. Feb knows that Wibbly is there and they're gonna look for the dive. Luke here probably just to try and ward off. But he comes in with the belly slam straight away. He's gonna go in the full electric proc and the flag and drag over the wall. Riftmark's gonna fall. It's a second kill to Wibbly. And Yusuf is here as well, all the way from bot lane. Luke not going to be able to catch his wave under tower. Kasaka here as well. Could be potentially looking for a dive. Does have the Hex Slash over. He's going to go straight over. It's going to be a free auto attack. Does get the flash away and belly pops him back into the tower, excuse me. Kasaka, he's going to fall to the slow. The damage from the barrel and the slow is enough to keep him there. And it's a free kill for Luke Caruana. It's a disaster for Kasaka. What was overall a fine play. Luke could be looking for something else mid lane. Riftmark does have that stun ready. Wibbly's 1 HP, but he's going to be able to just walk away. Hawksbill gets another wave under tower.
That was a lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah, I can't even speak.
But I feel like, once again, the closing statement should be Brainsword don't really lose all that much apart from mid, which I guess they're willing to just put that in the books and be like, whatever, that's fine. Annie can just be a utility bot if it comes to the worst scenario, but like having that bot lane be ahead in XP, jungler's securing some kills, Wibbly got the 2 kills from that skirmish, so it's not all bad for the lanes. Game state still somewhat even.
I think once Victor starts, I think Victor, obviously gold and kills and everything is obviously useful. It's useful on everyone, but when Victor starts getting these like 25, that's a lot of like fragments from assists. If he gets that E upgrade early, he's able to get it. He's basically able to clear waves and like entirely with just one ability, and it becomes a really difficult to deal with, especially when you're playing someone who's not known for their wave clear like Annie. Really just controlling the lane to his will now. Already has the Lost Chapter.
Once again, Riftmark could be in trouble.
They're gonna look for the gank. The hook does land on February 14th, gets the ult out, and Riftmark is going to fall, and it's a 3rd kill for Wibbly. Christian pulls out the duelist dance, but Mark does flash away, and things just happening everywhere. But all of it is just constant. It's just good news for BSU majority of the time. It's Jarvan though.
Yeah, Wibbly's gonna try and save his top.
The gold drinker. He's gonna come in with the casket. It's not gonna land, and the ult is gonna land with the Fiora. Wibbly comes in as well. Christian Simeone's on about 40% health on the back of this fight. Luke Caruana trying to run away as well. The sun is gonna land. Luke is so low. The belly slam is going to go in, but it's not gonna be enough. And Feb picks up his 1st kill of the game, and all of a sudden the game flipped on its head.
Mark, the weak side king.
Mark, indeed, the weak side king.
Survives that gank with the greatest of ease. Oh.
Really, almost gave it the
We almost cursed him. It's fine.
I'm very close, but the casket just stopped it coming to a complete standstill to try and avoid that.
And also, like, a haphazard dive, perhaps, from Brainsword Unsheathed. They didn't quite have the wave ready, they just wanted to get on with it really quickly, because I guess they expected the jungler to show up at some point. They just wanted to kill Mark, but they just did not have the damage, simply put. And Wibbly gets the turnaround kill, along with February 14th getting a kill as well. So pretty much things are going according to plan for ICM. Victor getting accelerated is exactly what you want to see. We're going to rely a lot on him for damage.
This area though definitely looks very, very strong already. God, this Victor damage already is just crazy. Christian holding this wave on his side of the lane. Mark really struggling to even farm anything. Really being choked out of all the resources he possibly can be. Wibbly looking for another play mid. Riftmark about half HP on tower. Does have the sun available, but the Chaos Storm is going to come in, and Riftmark is 1 HP under tower. Wibbly's not going to be able to find the end to it, and the death ray doesn't land. He's got to flash away, but the Timbers picks up the kill on the return. And Wibbly goes for a flash Q and completely whiffs it. The curtains have come out. Riftmark is dodging side to side when he has someone blocking for him at the Sejuani on the back of the fight. I don't know what is going on.
Holy. A two-pronged attack from ICM. Jin comes in from one side lane, Sedge comes in from another.
A true UNL fight. Oh, everything about that play was just beautiful. The Wibbly flash Q missing, the double-sided attack, Riftmark trying to dodge despite the fact he had someone standing in the way. Christian Simeone finds himself in a lot of trouble here. The Flag and Drag not going to land, but the ult is. He does have to use that flash to get away. Which I don't think is really going to do anything. Maybe a little bit safer laning for Mark, a little bit harder to run him down, but I don't think you get too much out of that unless you plan on coming back. Then for Brainiac though, he's going to get caught out by Kasaka. Where are they going to have the damage? The ult does come in, and the Jin with the 4th shot. Yusuf gets his name on the board. And ICM, it's close. It's very, very close.
Yeah, they're pulling it back every single time, making moves on the map and getting a lot of it, getting a lot done with it. If they can stack these Drakes as well, this bodes really well for the team. They do have mid-prio constantly, so they don't have to worry about that part. And bot lane is in pretty good state as well. ICM looking a lot more composed and also performing better in lane overall. Also Wibbly with a vintage Jarvan performance. Oh, Riftmark is very low.
He's having an absolute nightmare. He has to back here. He can't stay. Luke is going to come in to try and help him, but you can't stay here. This Victor just does too much damage. Does have that Tibbers available and ready. Luke sitting on a ward, but you can see them gathering around mid lane. Luke could be finding some little bit of trouble here. The Flag and Drag does come over the wall, the Death Ray, and then the Flash Belly Slam. Riftmark does get flash hooked, and he's going to fall first. The Casket not enough to save him. Wibbly 4-0-1.
Yeah,
it's so hard to deal with.
I don't really get why Rift was trying to save his jungler while being pretty much almost dead. Like, that health bar was nowhere to be seen. That's another kill for Wibbly. I mean, it's a Jarvan, so, like, he's not going to use that gold as well as Victor, but if he's fed like this, if he has 2 items, like, really quick 2-item spike on, like, Gore Drinker plus something else, like, maybe a Black Cleaver or Sterax, that can really do a lot in these fights. You can tank for a lot of time.
Early play spot though. Wibbly could look for a fight here. This Curse of the Sand does come in, and he's just going to die. Maybe I don't know.
Well, Brainsword
communication maybe.
Yeah, they just did not consider a teleport coming in, I suppose. I mean, that's seems to be the only explanation I can find right now. A little bit scattered to the winds here, Brainsword. But doesn't change the fact that the top lane advantage is still big for Brainsword. That Fiora is still a menace. And Zeri is also in a pretty good spot, so they're keeping it nice and tight when it comes to this gold.
Kasaka finds himself in a little bit of trouble here. It's some with the base time, and Hawksbill, you're not going to be able to run away from this. Zeri does get blown back by the casket. Hawksbill's going to be able to keep up. And someone's definitely going to have to fire. Does falls first. The curtains come out, but Wibbly is here again, and Nympho Brainiac is going to fall. It's 2 kills for ICM, immediately returning it, but Riftmark finds use of All Alone in the jungle. Not enough to the stun wasn't up in time, but Wibbly could look for something onto Riftmark here. Cover 14 sitting very weak in this lane. The Flagging Shark doesn't land. Christian Simeone is here. Doesn't have the sun available anymore. Wibbly is so weak. Timber's going to be able to tap him down. No, he's not. The riposte isn't enough either. Wibbly is somehow getting away with his life and that 500 gold bounty, excuse me.
Wow.
A bit unlucky there for BSU.
That failed EQ from Wibbly almost killed him. That was definitely an overextension on their part, but they don't get punished. That bounty is still on Wibbly's head. There's also a bounty on Feb's head, to be frank. Like, this jungle mid is performing really well this game so far. And Wibbly is definitely enjoying those Jarvan buffs that came just this patch.
Damage. She gets the Sunder and oh my god, she just melts.
Yeah, it does feel like they will have to rely on this Fiora for a lot of their plays in the mid game just to try and create pressure. Mid lane is not looking good right now. And Luke Caruana is just going for the pure one-shot build with Luden's Echo. Luden's Tempest.
Wibbly might be looking for something. Christian Simeone here. Gonna walk straight away. Not really interested, but god, this Fiora, if she hits that Vital with the Sheen proc, the Sunder proc, it just does so much damage. He gives her, what, 200-ish HP every time as well. It's crazy. Wibbly's gonna find the Flag Drag. Isn't gonna land. Riftmark does have to flash away, though. Cataclysm was available for Wibbly. Don't think it's really worth, though. I don't know if this Annie is worth anything more than about 200 gold anymore. BSU maybe looking for something once this tower can fall. Luke fighting Wibbly on the side here. He's going to be the first into the fight. The Zerial does come out, but the Flag and Drag and the Cataclysm is enough. Hawksbill's going to fall first. The curtains come out again. Kasaka finds himself on 1 HP. But the curtain quickly drags him out of it. And Nympho Brainiac almost handed a lifeline by the enemy support. 2 more kills for ICM as this game just becomes increasingly difficult for BSU. I do have to tell you, there is stream problems, apparently.
I know.
Chaos Storm in mid lane is going to come out, but Rift going to be able to just walk away. Luke is here to try and defend his mid. The flash belly and straight into the tower with the casket. It's amazing from Luke Caruana. His mid laner is going to die in return, but really, really well played from Luke. The belly slam flash into the explosive casket knocks the Victor straight under his tower. Gets another free kill. But his team, they're just so far behind. Mark in the end opting for the Heartsteel. Do you have any strong opinions on this item, Davis?
I would rather see something else, in all honesty, something but he can proc consistently.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not winning the 1v1 matchup, so might as well just go Radiant Virtue and try to provide for your team as much as possible.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Heartsteel is, in general, I think it's pretty bait. I think there's Mundo, and then you could make arguments for Shen and Cho'Gath, but I don't know, even then. Let's say Shen, Sion and Cho'Gath, excuse me. Second Herald. I see him looking for it. Pretty much can't really be contested on anything now. Everyone is just so far behind except top and bot. Death rate might have been able to slow something with the root from Jim, but it's not enough. They're gonna trade the Drake. I don't mind the Drake trade. If they get it, that is. But there is a big push coming out mid here from ICM. Definitely gonna lose a lot here. They can't really. There's no really way of them really defending it. They're gonna go straight into the inhibitor tower. They're gonna leave it at that. Not too early to take the inhib potentially, but Shelly does get that last charge onto it. Christian sitting in this bush waiting for Mark to make a mistake to do his dance is going to come out. He might be able to catch up here with that move speed. Sejuani ult does have to come out and return to save himself, but definitely forces him out of lanes. He can get a clean back off without, you know, regenerate his mana and whatnot. But BSU, they're just going to look straight for the Baron. Victor has to teleport into mid lane. And Mark and Whibley are both here. They're going to back straight away off that. Maybe saw an opportunity for it, but Christian Simeone almost finding himself one shot at the side of the fight. February 14th and Whibley both in a lot of trouble from Hawkspill here. He's doing too much damage. The Cataclysm is enough. He does die in the end, but he's going to pick up the Jarvan shutdown. That is absolutely massive. Sejuani is the second to fall. The current caused so many low HP targets. Nympho Brainiac does fall in the end. But Christian Simeone and Luke Caruana getting away with their lives. And I think overall, probably a net positive trade for BSU, but this Victor is just getting so strong.
Yeah, Brainsword, it's a narrow win for them, but they finally win a fight, and that shut down onto the Zeri, which is very good news for the team.
I think that was what they needed. Yeah, I think if there was one thing they needed, it was the Zeri getting that gold. I think Yusuf silently having a big impact in this game, which I know you won't like to hear, but he's doing things. He's getting there.
Yeah, but Jin is contributing. That's all I'm gonna say. But I feel like I've definitely underestimated the impact that this Victor will have in this game.
Yeah. Big trade coming out here, top lane, but Christian Simeone finds himself on the edge of three members. A stun does come out from Sejuani, and a second knockup as well, but she parries the third. He's going to be able to flash over the wall, and he's going to get away with his life. He misses it over the wall, and he's going to fall in the end. From that small mistake, he played the entire fight so well. But all it took was missing that one Q. That is a Victor with no flash though, which they know for next fight. He's gonna flash exhaust onto Riftmark, and he's gonna be able to find it in the end. It's the Liandry's burn for the Victor, and the Aerie in the end, after I said I didn't like it, is gonna pick up the kills. Luke gets another one top lane, but his team is losing inhibitors. And God, February 14th is just so strong.
It's chaos all around on the map right now.
It is absolute chaos. I could not have put it any better. There is no... It's just everywhere. I cannot take 5 seconds without speaking. There's constantly things happening everywhere.
That being said, it's still ICM very much in control of the game, and it's all on the back of... Well, actually, the bot lane has been very active this game as well, if you think about it, but man, what a difference it makes for Whibley to finally be able to play this Jarvan, and also February 14th playing control mage, putting the team on his back, transitioning from top to mid just because the situation called for it, and he performs in a very important game for the team.
Small trades going over. ICM look like they might be trying to go for a Baron. Everyone gonna rotate straight into mid lane. This Zeri though, I think if she manages to stack at the start of a fight, you have a really difficult time catching her with it if you don't get that Nautilus ult early.
Yeah, BSU don't really have setup going into this dragon, and they will have to go through straight all this stuff. Sejuani, like, you don't want to face check that. You don't want to get CC'd. There's the gravity field as well, so you don't want to just walk through the same corridor as a 5 unit. It's really hard to approach this river right now. It feels like they still want to try. Even Christian Simeone's here. He's not even committed to the split push.
The hook does land onto Luke Caruana at the end. He's gonna he's gonna be able to stay alive. The castle just comes out. It's a huge cataclysm for Whitley. Luke Caruana is the first to fall, and ICM are all over this fight. The curtains are coming out to finish it off. Hawksbill is the next victim of an amazing fight from ICM. And all of a sudden, this game went from somewhat close to monstrously difficult for BSU.
Yeah, when the fights look like this, it's really easy for ICM to win them. Cataclysm locks all of them in place. Victor basically unloads all of the damage that he has, and that's the end of that. If BSU cannot one-shot the important members of ICM's team, like, that's just how the fights are going to end up going. Or they need to make better use of the Fiora in the side lane right now, because that was just Fiora grouping with the team and not really accomplishing anything of note. The game is still within reach. I mean, the mid lane inhib might be down, but in terms of gold, you're still looking pretty well, all things considered. Zeri has 3 items. It's still
you can see
recoverable.
Just that, yeah, I mean, February 14th, you can see how many kills he has, but 140 minions, he is going to fall a bit behind with that, especially when you look at Zeri. But as I am speaking, Luke Caruana gets absolutely demolished. Another kill onto the Victor, and it's going to be a Baron for ICM. There's no way you can contest this. Christian Simeone trying to get something from the bottom side of the map, but not really able to. Even he's just not doing that much damage to the Sejuani anymore. Baron does go to ICM.
I may have done what's called the caster curse. As I was saying, that Brainsword can bring it back. Luke Caruana gets picked off, and now Rift will be the next victim of.
God, it is turning into a massacre.
The playmaking potential for Whibley here is pretty much what makes this whole team gel so much better than before. When he can dictate what's going on the map, he has so much mobility. He can be just almost in 2 places at once, it feels like. This basically changes the entire dynamic of the team. They can play so much more aggressive as well. They all have confidence in the engage. Oh, are we contesting this?
I see. You just can't even fight inside your own jungle. But Luke just managed to dodge away with that hook, but Riftmark, he's caught out of position again. The Cataclysm, just a point and click, die. Doesn't bother trying to use his flash to get away. And that inhib is going to fall for the second time this game. Luke trying to look for something. The hook is going to land onto him, but Yusuf very good flash away from that bandage toss. Could have been a real problem if the curse of Sam Mummy landed onto Victor there.
That's a big flash they just expended to try and get that engage. Now Amumu without that flash, gonna be that much harder to find the curse of a sad mummy that turns around this game. The question is, can they even turn it around at this point? Before that second Baron, I really felt like Brainsword were still in a position to try and bring this back, but yeah, that pick onto Luke Caruana just means that was probably the straw that breaks the proverbial camel's back, because the gold difference is just too much to bear, especially when you look at the mid lane. Right now we're looking at something, can't even just be able to check. If I press X I can see the gold difference, but I don't know if they changed the hotkey or something. Anyway, it's probably a very big gold difference. It has to be in the range of a few thousand. Pretty much all the win conditions were secured, but hold on.
The card's gonna come out. So it's a huge fight here. Kasaka blow it. The fight. It's a huge curse of the sun. I mean, it's a brilliant fight for BSU here. Shooting Hawk spells on the back of the fight. He's exhausted, but he's still doing so much damage. Might he be able to pull this back all on his own? He cannot get locked down, but the Sejuani still is there, and the Flag and Drag straight knocks him away. The Caruana picks up one more kill onto the Jhin on the back of the fight. It's just Luke against Whippy and Mark, but he just does so much damage. The Flag and Drag over, but he does get the kill with the explosive casket. The kill returned by Mark, and it's a 1v1, the two top laners in the end. You can't go for this, that riposte is available. He's just going to run away with his life, and I don't know what just happened. I must apologize, at the start of the fight, I hit my mic by accident, so I was muted for the first couple of seconds, but regardless, BSU, maybe a way to get their foot in the door now.
Yeah,
it's a lot of. We're starting to see that Zeri. She's popping up.
It makes such a big difference when you can kill a target like Victor that early into the fight. February 14th tried to do a lot of damage to pretty much the entire team of BSU, but that put him in a very vulnerable position, and he just got one shot. And then the Nautilus also dies at the beginning of the fight, but that doesn't really deter ICM from taking the dragon. Doesn't give them Ocean Soul yet, but it's really close now.
Soul point is a big deal. A lot of pressure. Especially when you're playing against a comp that you really don't want to be running into.
You kind of would like to see Christian Simeone in the side lane, but now ICM have so much pressure on their Nexus. Feels like if he leaves, that might just spell the end of the game. I don't know if BSU can handle. Oh!
But he just does not do any damage.
Yeah, looking for the back line but could not find it. If you hit the front line, that pretty much does nothing. You can't really one-shot someone like Jarvan. Let alone Sejuani with Force of Nature and 2 other items. Straight to Baron we go.
ICM, how do you contest them here? You're not going to get there. They're going to take it before BSU can even show themselves. It's another Baron for ICM. The hook does land on the Christian Simeone. Might find himself in a lot of trouble here. The final curtain call coming out, and he's going to fall straight away. Riftmark falling in return just for no reason.
I think this is.
Yeah, that was
I
not
think
the
that
play.
might be it. That
You
might be
either
it.
commit or you don't. You don't do whatever that was, which is like a middle ground. Are we, guys, are we going in? Are we contesting the Baron? We probably shouldn't, because we have 2 inhibitors. Bear, like, Nex is almost open at this point. Like, you have to live to fight another day in that case. Just hope that Zeri can carry another fight. Don't gamble it on Baron steal, because now ICM probably can just end the game. Oh,
Might be able to fight a fight. The curse
Zeri in trouble.
is absolutely massive, and it's a horrible fight, but it just does not matter. They're too far ahead. They're too strong. Christian Simeone by himself tries to ult the Jhin, but he's just not going to be able to do anything. Riftmark going to fall for the 11th time this game, and the ult onto Christian Simeone, and that. Hold on, it's not going to be that just yet. Now, ICM back on track.
Massive win for ICM.